But let's discuss the prospect of the government planning that $4.6 billion incentive for battery makers, and the fact that Exide Leclanche is actively pitching in the nascent lithium-ion battery market as well. So let's discuss the prospects of that further. We've got the CEO, Stefan Lewis, joining in on the show right now. Stefan, hi, morning. Good to have you on the show. Let's discuss really, Niti Aayog and their recommendation of incentives worth about $4.6 billion by 2030 for companies manufacturing advanced batteries, starting with cash and infrastructure incentives of about $122 million in the next financial year. Help us understand, Stefan, how is it that your sector stands to benefit, and your company in particular as well?
Well, good morning, and thank you for the invitation. I think the plans that have been made are obviously good because they are pointing in the right direction, which is the electrification of transport, etc. At the same time, let's say we're a little bit late in India. Other countries have started as much as a decade ago. And so we need to catch up somehow. So if you compare these budgets of 4.6 billion, which is a huge number, on an international scale, for the size of the country, it is not. If you look at how other countries have tried to get to where they are today, they've spent 100-fold of that. And I think if India wants to catch up, they'll have to do the same. And that's a significant different number. I'm not talking about 4.6, I'm talking about 460. It is what is required to make a change which is so fundamental, the way we move, the way we produce, distribute, and consume energy. It is so fundamental that you need a fundamental budget as well to make it happen, especially if you want to catch up.
Sure. Help us understand how is it that you're developing energy storage modules for applications in electric vehicles, for instance, and what has been the investment so far? And if you could also give us a color on what your order pipeline is like from OEMs and other sectors as well.
Right. So a lithium-ion battery pack is a device which has several layers of technology. At the core, of course, there's the electrochemistry, which stores the energy in a cell, a lithium-ion cell. But around that, there's a lot of technological layers, mechanical, of course, the thing has to be held together. Thermal, the heat that is produced needs to be removed. Then there comes the electrical stuff, the electronics, and the firmware that goes with it to make the battery, work safely. We at Exide Leclanche Energy have a outward-in strategy, if you like, where we start with the outer layers of technology only to get to the core layer after we have managed the outer layers. So we're starting with battery module production, battery pack production, BMS development, software development, cloud technology, all of the things around the cell. The reason for that is very simple. The market is nascent, it's small at present. So you can manufacture competitively with a small price delta, I would say, those technologies, the enclosure, the modules and things like that, the electronics. However, when you come to the cell, you need volume, big volume, because you have to be competitive at an international level. And then you are competing with companies who have gigafactories, and there is no way that you can make a 100 megawatt-hour production line competitive or produce product that is competitive. Some companies may decide to do that to get on a learning curve, which makes sense. But it's very painful for the shareholders because the products have to be subsidized basically internally to meet the price in the market. We have, of course, as a joint venture, we have one of our parents, Leclanche, which is a company who has 15 years of experience in lithium-ion. And so we don't need to go too much through that learning curve. We have access to people who have done all of that in the last 15 years. So for us, it's more of an industrialization event. So if we build a cell factory, it's going to be a big one right from the start. The current plant that we've built, we've spent about 200 crores doing that. And that has gone into production capacity of batteries, lithium-ion batteries, for a variety of applications. I'm thinking of two-wheeler, three-wheeler,
right. Sure.
passenger vehicle and bus, commercial vehicle.
Sure.
And on the stationary side, anything from...
Stefan, right. Yeah, just wanted to get in your view in terms of, you've got a lot of giants like Tesla, they're planning to enter the country next year. What's your sense on the readiness and the consumer acceptance for such models?
I think the consumer will gradually shift because the fundamental business case is there, and emotionally people driving an electric vehicle feel good about how they are contributing to a better environment, and no country where it is needed more than India, which is also why I came here. Infrastructure, of course, is the other critical aspect. I'm talking about battery charging, especially for electric vehicles, passenger vehicles. And then that needs to be put in place, and that's very much a chicken and egg problem. That is definitely something where governments also need to help. When you don't have electric vehicles, there is no business case in putting up EV charging, so you have to have very strong regulation to make that work.
And, can you just give us an outlook as to what is the current order pipeline from the OEMs, from other sectors, what kind of growth as well that you're targeting?
We have, the process of getting into electric vehicles is a lengthy one. The company has actually just had its second birthday. We were incorporated in September 18. We've built a team, we've built a factory which is nearly ready, and we had to go through several steps in the process, going from, freezing requirements, getting a technical design which the customer approves, getting to a commercial acceptance, then going into prototyping pilot phase. We have several OEMs in the two-wheeler space, three-wheeler space, in the passenger vehicle space where we are advanced into that pipeline. Our factory has been designed for 6 production lines. The first one is installed and ready. The second one is being installed. The third one has been delivered, needs to be installed next week, actually starting today. And then number 4 and 5 will come. 4 will come next month. Number 5 will come in November. And then the 6th one also in November. So before the end of the year, our production will be ready to go to mass production. Of course, that will take some time to ramp up. And again, this is all about high volume, high quality, automotive grade battery pack assembly, which is at our scale, I think, quite new in India. Our factory can handle about 1.5 to 2 gigawatt hours of battery packs, depending on the size of the pack. And it's highly automated and high quality.
Right. While lithium-ion batteries also seem to be the favored options for EVs and the grid-scale energy storage application, lead-acid batteries as well continue to stay ahead. Why, Stefan, is that?
Well, lead-acid batteries are today less expensive. So you need to see what is it you need. Do you need energy storage, or do you need energy storage that can be recharged very quickly? Does it need to be light and compact? So there's a number of reasons that are required in addition to the need of energy storage if you want to go for that more expensive battery. Can be the life of the battery. For example, if you do a hybrid solar PV and storage application, you'll get a 20-year warranty on your solar PV panels. You want your battery to have the same kind of warranty. That's a little bit difficult with lead acid, so then customers may choose for a long life lithium-ion technology. So it's always multiple criteria which have to be met to justify more expensive technology.
We'll let you go on that note, Stefan. Appreciate you taking the time out and joining in, giving us more perspective on the EV push and how we're looking at really incentives for these advanced batteries and the outlook on the lithium-ion battery market.